In an era where environmental consciousness is on the rise, sustainable fashion has become a hot topic. As with any trending subject, myths and misconceptions abound. Let's dive into 8 surprising myths about sustainable fashion and uncover the truth behind them. The luxury illusion: high price doesn't equal high ethics. One of the most pervasive myths is that luxury brands are inherently more sustainable and ethical. The reality? A hefty price tag doesn't guarantee sustainable or ethical practices. Many luxury brands produce their goods in the same factories as fast fashion brands, often lacking transparency about their supply chains. Take, for example, the case of Burberry. In 2018, the luxury brand made headlines for burning unsold merchandise worth millions of dollars, hardly a sustainable practice. This incident highlighted that even high-end brands can engage in wasteful and environmentally harmful practices. The 100% sustainable claim: a marketing mirage. When a brand claims to be sustainable, it's tempting to believe they're 100% eco-friendly. And there's no standardized definition of sustainability in fashion. Many brands engage in greenwashing, making exaggerated or unsubstantiated claims about their environmental practices. For instance, H&M's Conscious collection has faced criticism for not being as sustainable as advertised. While the collection uses some recycled materials, it still promotes fast fashion consumption patterns. The donation delusion: where do your old clothes really go? Many of us believe that donating old clothes is always a sustainable way to declutter. The truth is far more complex. Only about 10% of donated clothing is sold in thrift stores. A significant portion ends up shipped overseas, potentially harming local industries and creating waste in developing countries. In Ghana's Kantamanto market, for example, about 15 million items of used clothing arrive weekly, with 40% ending up as waste in landfills or burned in Accra's slums. The recycling reality: it's not that simple. There's a common misconception that most clothes can be easily recycled. In reality, less than 1% of collected clothing in Europe is recycled into new garments. The complexity of separating blended fabrics makes recycling clothes a challenging process. For instance, a cotton-polyester blend, common in many garments, is difficult to separate for recycling. This highlights the need for innovative recycling technologies and a shift towards using monomaterials in clothing production. The return revelation: not all returns find new homes. Many consumers believe that online returns are always resold to other customers. Shockingly, many returned items end up in landfills or incinerators. It's often more cost-effective for companies to dispose of returns rather than process and resell them. A CBC Marketplace investigation found that some retailers, including Amazon, have sent new or gently used products to the dump. This practice contributes significantly to waste in the fashion industry. The fabric fallacy: it's more than just materials. There's a myth that sustainable fashion is only about using eco-friendly fabrics. While materials are important, sustainable fashion encompasses much more. It includes ethical labor practices, reducing carbon footprints, and minimizing water usage throughout the entire production process. For example, Patagonia not only uses recycled materials, but also focuses on fair labor practices and repairing garments to extend their life. The individual impact illusion: your choices matter. Some believe that individual choices in sustainable fashion don't make a real difference. But collective consumer demand for sustainable products can significantly influence industry practices. The rise of secondhand fashion platforms like ThredUp and Depop shows how individual choices can create a significant market shift. These platforms have grown rapidly, demonstrating the power of consumer preferences in shaping the industry. The recycling remedy myth: it's not the ultimate solution. While recycling is important, it's not the silver bullet for fashion sustainability. Reducing overall consumption and waste is more crucial than relying solely on recycling, which has its own complexities and environmental impacts. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation's report on the circular economy in fashion emphasizes the need for a systemic change, including designing for longevity and reuse, rather than just focusing on recycling. In closing, understanding these myths is crucial for making informed decisions about sustainable fashion. It's clear that sustainability in fashion is a complex issue that goes beyond simple solutions or marketing claims. As consumers, we need to look beyond the surface and consider the entire life cycle of our clothing choices. By being aware of these myths, we can make more conscious decisions, support truly sustainable practices, and push for greater transparency and accountability in the fashion industry. Remember, true sustainability in fashion isn't just about what we wear, but how we think about and consume fashion.